Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we are going piping. Bro is on escort duties, he's gone on ahead of me. So, and then Father Phil has went on earlier this morning to agitate to where we're going to a beef and sheep farm. Explain more when we get there. He's gone on ahead to agitate. I had to go to another man and take out a few load of slurry just to keep him safe till his ground dries up and he can be spread. It's time to bail on to the next man and we get some more slurry out. Gotta love slurry.
Show me loving. I need your loving. Cause I'm drowning in something and I can't come out. Just show me loving. I need loving. Me, myself, ain't enough. It's like being a dog to a crush.
So, trying to get the girl off and she won't start. Battery is not enough power in it. And that's because we finished up the last day, or yesterday in the dark. It was 10:30 when we finished pumping, and the battery's just dead on it. Round we go. So yeah, because there's 27 LED lights on it, and with all the electronics that's on it, the battery, if we work late at night and we don't give it time to charge, she won't start the next morning. That's all it is. We need to upgrade the alternator, I think. But anyways, we'll get her unloaded now. So, time to get some pipe down. So, first thing is we're putting down a short pipe in the yard, so that because this yard there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 tanks in this yard, 3 big tanks, 1 half the size, and then a small tank or smaller tank. We need to be able to move stuff around. This is a beef and sheep farm, so usually what you'll find is, compared to dairy farms, beef farms tend to have much thicker slurry. We were here in February with the tankers, Bro and Robert, and they got a world of stuff spread. And the tanks, some of the tanks they were spreading out of were backfilled with rainwater off the roof, so that there'll be more liquid for us to come with the pipes then to do the softer ground or get the next bit done. So we just have to move that water around the yard now to the agitator, to be able to agitate up sheds, to pump back with the agitator back into the shed that we're going to be pulling out of. And yeah, so that's why we're putting down the yard. We'll use the pump to pump the water to the agitator, and then the agitator will pump slurry back into the tank that the pump is working out of. That makes sense. Also, you'll notice the tractor is very dirty. That's because on the last jobs we done, as we're blowing out, one of my orange pipes come off the arm, and then doing a backwards maneuver, I pulled it off the macerator, and then it started spewing stuff everywhere. And because we're on the blowout, you can't do anything about it. Bro is hard at it here, pulling pipe just to get us around the yards. So we just have the first thing to pipe out of the yard. We go under a wire, get it straightened up now. But it's turned into a bit of a jockey bit of a showers there now at the minute. I think it is supposed to clear, but it's soft weather, that's what we call it. It's nice weather for doing this job, because if we had real dry hot weather, well, we wouldn't have much hot weather at the minute, but if we had a reasonable dry spell and put out thick slurry with the dribble bar, it has a tendency of caking on the ground. So a bit of a soft day like this, it's grand weather for spreading. So we're there for pumping the field. So we're still hooked up to our black pipe, the 4 1/3 inch pipe. So we're going to be starting off only 400 meters out, so it's going to be handy enough. But what we have to do here is, I did count it, 7 fields, so medium sized fields, 3, 4, biggest one might be 5 acres. and then we're moving into a bigger block, 12-ish, 10 acres, something like that. And I think that's much of what has to be done for today. Ground would be a bit on the softer side here. Definitely wouldn't be going out with tankers. The gaps would definitely stop tankers going out. It might just be dry enough actually to travel the ground with tankers, but the gaps wouldn't take tankers at the minute. But that's the joys of the pipe. These tires, just to put into perspective of the footprint of the tire, I always say it's the same as your own footprint. So if you can walk a bit of ground without losing your wellies, then I can travel on. That's the footprint of the tractor. It's the same as your own footprint. So when you go testing, when you go to look a bit of ground you're going into, and maybe you walk and see what it's like. If you can walk it, I can travel on. This first bit of pipe down, we'll do the field we're in now just to see what way the slurry is, whether it's a bit thick or a bit strong of itself, or whether it's thick or watery, and then that way they'll know whether they need to put more water into the tank we're working out of, or whether they can pump in more thick stuff from all the other tanks. Because we'll start off in our short, then we'll go that way, 2 fields down that way, then we'll go back up that way and do the other 4 fields. Let's pipe down, we get started. So pipe is down, we're ready to go. Just buzzed in Father Phil, and he wants to do a small bit more agitating and pumping before he lights me up, so just have to wait a few minutes. Not near a drinker, so have to wait to wash the windows in our time, so just have to change. We're putting out 2,500 gallons today, so we input that into our Vantage flow meter on our Trimble system, and then we are ready to go whenever he lights it up. So before I go, I want to hit marking and I want to hit guidance line A. So now I'm ready to go. So as soon as I start driving, I start filling what I'll be spreading, and then I have my first point put down, and then when I drive to the other end of the hedge, I put down B, and away we go. And if you're wondering, yeah, I have a plaster on because I got a bit of a deep cut and just want to keep it clean off slurry, so plaster's the easiest way of doing it. Anyways, just wait now to get going. Jobs like this where you're agitating and pumping all kind of the one time and you have to kind of work it, you do end up with a, you know, half an hour or that sitting around waiting for stuff to get moved about and agitated when it's what you gotta do. My sister is just after calling in, and she's after bringing up chicken fillet roll for the dinner, so I'm still waiting to get going. But yeah, this way the cab is messy because we literally eat in the cab. My go-to chicken fillet roll is spicy chicken, red onions, stuffing, egg mayonnaise, and more mayonnaise inside of it. Leave in your comments down below what is your favourite roll to get out of the deli counter. And for people outside of Ireland, so I know live being English and that, a deli counter isn't the thing you find in the UK, which is bizarre, but yeah, it cannot be a good chicken fillet roll. Top notch. And we are away. First run done, AB line set up, so we're nice straight lines now. Gallons per hour is jumping around there a bit, so there's probably a nice bit of fibre in the pipe, and it's just kind of blocks the pump a bit, pump blows it out, blocks the pump a bit, because it's floating at the minute there. It is dropped it on. The pipe must be twisting. It is twisting behind me. Yeah, it's just jumping over itself. And the pipe, you can't really see it there, but when the pipe has to cross itself like that, you lose a bit of pressure. And once it's straight again, there seems to be a bit of fibre in the slurry, so the pressure is kind of just jumping up and down a bit, but it should be alright. There, we're just after jumping back up to 23, 22, go on, now it's dying off, I'm turning 17, 15. Yeah, she's just jumping around there a little bit, but yeah, I think it's just that it's maybe a bit her on the thicker side, her of keep an eye on what my gallons is per hour and adjust the speed accordingly to match it and get the ground covered. Not much else to it. The sun's come out now too, it's looking nice. We're in nice straight lines up and down the field. So just finishing off the first field. It's taking a while. Pressure just keeps up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's proven to be difficult, but we're getting there. So just drag it down that way now. And we'll do the next ones. And now we've moved into what you could say the softest or wettest field we have to do. It's actually quite dry underfoot. I'm surprised at how solid the ground is. We got in no bother at all. Just a couple little spots I have to watch out for as we spread it, but this is the tightest bit of ground you could say we have to do. And once we get this done, then we're going the other side of where we started, and it gets much more plain, nicer sailing from there. Slurry's proven to be quite thick, but slowly but surely we're getting there. We're getting there. We're just after coming out of that last bit of ground there. Father Phil got a good hit of water into the pipe or into the tank. Running a lot better now. So the reason that was just popping out there is blew out the pipe to rejig the pipe, and in rejigging the pipe I dropped the pipe. Because of how I do it, it means that there was air pressure still in the pipe when I done it, so that's why that. But anyways, we're ready to go again, and we are away. And since it's taken me always, every time you move a bit of piping, it takes a bit of time to actually get the piping moved, so that gives Father Phil time inside in the farm. And we're getting 30,000 gallons an hour there, so our forward speed is nice and sweet. So, and that's putting it out at 3,000 gallons. Farmer wanted a bit more put out, so putting it out at 3,000 gallons. So now we are going to make a bit of progress now that we're on some good, nice hard ground, and Father Phil has had a bit of time inside to get the tanks all stirred up and get water moved across to where it needs to be. So now we get to make some progress. This is the worst thing about these clips. You have to be over them to get them through. It's not like down bowers you can tie a rope and run and pull. Hopefully I have the camera far enough away from it. So now, what you seen there when I took it off and Slurry's still coming out that pipe, that is because we're slightly downhill. There's the weight of that slurry in that pipe trying to make its way out. Cross it over itself. It's usually enough to stop, but it's not anyway steeper that. You're on steeper ground, crossing it over a couple of times. You'd have to cross it a couple of times for it to work. Got to clean the dirty gloves to pick up the camera covered in slurry. It just didn't get on the lens, but it's all over the rest of it. Just waiting in the corner to get going. See, can we see the slurry coming? The live pops are open. So I seen it just racing down there. You see that bit of a kink there. When that goes out of it, then we know it's that far. Usually you're able to see the pipe sit down as it comes. Yeah, you can just see the pipe. We should just have it there now. Yep, there it is. Let's straight her on. Let's see what we have now. We have an extra bit of piping down. So we're up at 20,000 gallons there. 19, yeah, so we're topping out there around 20,000. It might improve a bit because there is a little bit of a kink in the middle of the field. Just had to go around the creep feeder, but no, it's increased there again. 22, 23, 24. Sorry, speeding up now. Yeah, happy days. Great pressure now at the minute. So again, putting in the AB line along this hedge here, and then we'll be ready for straight lines all the way up the field. And we're moved on again. So we've finished out there. We've stretched her on out, so we have a lovely straight line, perfect for rolling up in here now. Just short of getting to the other end. It's getting cold and a bit windy now too, so we have to lay off at 200, probably reroute that pipe back up a bit so I can drag it that way to some extent to go through that hedge to do that one, be able to do that side, and then pull it on back out here and do this without having to stop. And then we're going on out there after that. So if I get enough of this pipe here left, not too bad, like close enough to that. I should be able to, when we blow out, roll up on 200, then just be able to pull a lump of that back through the hedge, go around into that one, hook up and on out that way. And that's what you call efficiency at this job, because the more playing with the pipes takes the most amount of time. And we're just getting a dirty bit of a shower now too. Oh yeah. To wash off the GoPro. And away we go again. We're just changing field there now. So just trying to drag the pipe out from that inside field out to this one where we started off and laid that pipe over there. The inside field's done, so hopefully get it all out. God damn it. I'm leaking again. Pipe must have been. It's hard to keep slurry equipment clean when that keeps happening. Pipes pull off. Can't do anything about it now. Slurry's pumping. Let's pull this out here to this hedge and we start marking AB lines and we start getting her all squared up for spreading. Definitely more than enough piping anyways. Where I need to put down the camera. A's and B's. And we're off. Follow this hedge, finish at that side. So anyway, I needed to make sure I got as much piping in. I do run a risk of rolling that pipe behind me, but my pressure is very good, so it should not be a problem. Shouldn't be, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'd say we're within 5 days of having the books cleared after basically getting no slurry spread in March because of just how poor March was. So yeah, once we get that cleared, there'll be drips and drabs, there'll be nothing too major. And the plan is for this year we won't be using this tractor for sowing. We're going to use the 7618. I'm getting the Trimble harness fitted into it, all the wires, so that I can move my Trimble unit off this tractor onto it, and then we'll have it for sowing. Then with the 710s as well, we should be that bit more low ground pressure. It should, hopefully, fingers crossed, work out alright, and then we'll leave this tractor set up with the umbilical system that we'll be able to do anything that needs to be done throughout the year and not have to be faffing around taking on and off the system, because it takes time to take it on and off, especially because we have so many added extras with extra switches and solenoids and lights and that. It just takes more time. Annoying me that. Can't do it. No point knocking off just to shove it back on, because it's still taking slurry. It's the third dropper out there, so it's still getting all that slurry. It's just leaking up on top. It's a pain in the arse. Anyways, straight lines now. Way here, we'll get this done. Was 7 o'clock now. This one will take half an hour more. We may get finished tonight. That field out there is big now. We have a good bit of slurry to spread in that. A good bit of spreading in that now. But that's the last field that's out there. So one thing that I do quite a bit of when I'm at this job, because it's, once you get spreading, it's a nice slow easy pace, so there's no big rushing and racing. All the steer is just, there's the high trees around me just have it a bit jittery of itself, is one way of putting it. Anyways, one thing I do a lot of is I catch up on everyone on YouTube and watch YouTube, Netflix. When I say watch, you're not really watching, you're more just listening. It's a bit like a podcast. But one channel I want to give a bit of a shout out to, that myself and Liv have been watching, and I know the man in a while, and he's a Swedish farmer, Wilhelm Nielsen. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too bad, but he's had a Swedish channel for quite some time, and every now and again I dip in and see what he's up to. But he started an English speaking channel, so he's doubled his workload, but the quality is next level. It makes what I do with the GoPro look like dog mode. But definitely you want to check it out. One of the last videos that he put up there that me and Liv watched, he did, you think we had a bad spring, they at the beginning of April or the end of March, they had a 36-hour blizzard in Sweden. So yeah, if you think we had it bad, yeah, it's a lot rougher up there, so it is, than it is here in Ireland. but definitely well worth checking out. So if anyone's interested, pressure dropping off here. Just trying to figure out why. Maybe it might just be starting to get thick in the tank, or there could be a bit of fibre going through the pump. Sometimes it can be enough just to slow it down. So, yeah, phone call and see what's going on. And that is all she wrote. So just as you seen, pressure was dying there. All of a sudden we've run out of pumpable slurry in the farm, and we've used up all the water in all the other tanks that we kind of was stashing water in. So we just got this field done. We still have that field out there to do. So the plan is we're going to come back with tankers and do that field. We should be all right to do that field with tankers. The gap is relatively reasonable and the field shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. That is part of it, but we won't be able to get that done because it's that wouldn't be as dry now as that. So that's kind of where we're at. So now it's just roll up all the piping, land her up back onto the roll loader, and we'll move on again. But I don't know whether we're coming back tomorrow to do this with the tankers or not. It all depends. But yeah, anyways, the job now is to roll up the pipes. So flick my switches, fold her up, and we get rolling.
I want you to know how bad it hurts. You got it beside along my heart. Oh, 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 are you dreaming of me now? The way I do. Oh, 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 are you dreaming of me now? The way I hold me, lover. I need you, lover. 'Cause I'm falling in too quickly and I can't break free. Just hold me, lover. I need you, lover. Me and myself ain't enough. It's like being alone in a crashing car.
That's that. We rolled up some piping there, as you've seen, popped up the drone. It's the first time I ever done that. And you may have noticed the rain come in just as I had to get it down, and when the rain came in, it blocked the sensors for obstacle, and I kept thinking there was something in front of it when there wasn't. It's a bit of a nightmare to get down, but we got down. So my mother is here to pick us up from where we are, so that's kind of it. We still have some more pipes to roll up. There must be something wanting to be done at home that we're leaving before dark. But anyways, my mother must have been in town or something. Now it's just handy to be picked up this time. We'll have to come back out, roll up, load up, and we may bring tankers tomorrow and then do that. I don't know what the plan is. Not yet, anyways. Not yet. Get the debrief on the way home. One thing I suppose I did say at the start, the difference between beef and dairy farms, there is a difference in the slurry 90% of the time. There's also a difference between if you are in bale tanks and precision chopped pit silage tanks. There's a difference there too. Precision chop spreads all day long. Bale tanks can be torturous. But the big difference between beef and dairy tanks is beef cattle that are being finished, their poo is like glue. When the beef cattle are on a real good diet, their dung is like glue. It takes a lot of liquid to water it down and get pumpable, whereas dairy cattle tend to have a looser dung all the time, especially when they go out to grass, and they always seem to have a looser dung compared to beef cattle. That's to do with the diet, one part. And the other thing with dairy farms, because of milk tank or having milking parlours, they all have dairy washings, which is basically just the washings of the milking parlour, and that usually all gets stored in a tank. So they're usually always quite good for water. They always have lots of water. So just on this farm here that we're at, This is the second time we've been here. Usually we'll go at this 4 times, so there'll be another stint going, covering some more silage ground, putting in a bit of water stir, get the silage ground covered. Then there'll be another stint after the silage is cut to cover all that ground again, and then there'll be another stint at the back end to finish off the rest of the tanks with water. It's just a matter of the most economical way of being able to get out the slurry is to take out all you can, then let it fill up with rainwater, take out what you can, fill up with rainwater, and just keep doing that till you get it out. It saves a lot of hassle of trying to draw in water and the expense of it. So make a few goes at it, keep the cost down. We're going to leave it at that for today's video. If you have any other questions or anything like that, as always, please hit them in the comments. Don't forget to leave what is your go-to chicken fillet roll fillings, what you put in it. Mine, spicy chicken, mayo, egg mayonnaise, onion and stuffing. Oh, you have to try it. If you like mayonnaise, you gotta try it. And that was all from, well, how did I get in on that? That was from back in secondary school when we went off to one of the school trips to do with ag science, and yeah, that's where I got in on that. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me. Good luck.